There's not too much action in this one, but we do learn two things. For one, Wally has to deal with more enemies than just rogues. And for two, just because he has superpowers doesn't mean you live in a lap of luxury. Support the comic industry by visiting your LCS. My name is Doran. This is SEO Comics. We continue our coverage of Absolute Flash with number 4. Our story starts off with Wally having either a flashback or a dream of his mother's death or his mother's funeral. And if you see the gravestone, it says 1991. That means I was 11 years older than this woman. You see Wally's dad, you see the priest, and he's saying a few words from the Bible. And there's the hole that she's either in or going to be in. And you see himself saying, don't look, remain calm. Well, all of a sudden he looks into the hole, and it's not his mom that's in the hole, but it's Barry. And Barry's saying, Wally, help me. And he just goes, Barry? And Barry yells again, skeleton and all, reaching up, help me. After reading that, the only thing I can hear is Kevin Hart.
Help me! Help me! Help me!
But then we cut to him and he wakes up, so we see it was a dream. Crowd's like, are you okay? Talking to him mentally. One's like, yeah, I'm okay, just had a bad dream. And he's like, it felt so real. Crowd walks up to him, goes head to head. It's kind of weird. He's like, Wally's okay, Crowd's okay, we're okay. And he's like, hot. And Wally's like, yeah, it's too hot to sleep out here anyway, so let me go see if we can find a place to stay. He tells Crowd to get in the book bag, and Crowd's like, I hate the book bag. And Wally's like, I know, but we don't need any extra attention. Let's get in the book bag, and hopefully we can find some place to where you can stay out, because I know Crowd's free now. So he's walking and he's thinking to himself, and then he walks up to like a soup line, and he walks up to one of the people in line. It's like, is this like a food line? And the dude's like, yeah, they serve breakfast every Thursday and Saturday. And it's like, all right, cool, thanks. Somebody walks up behind him and goes, hey, how old are you? And Wally's like, who wants to know? So the dude's like, easy kid, I just want to know if you're under 18, because if you are, then we have a shelter that we run for young people. There's 3 square meals a day, and you can stay up to a week. So then Wally's like, oh, okay, it's cool. I just wanted to make sure you didn't wear a serial killer. And dude's like, do I look like a serial killer? And Wally's like, kind of. So then this girl walks by and is like, don't worry about Ralph. He's a good guy. He just likes bad dad jokes. And Ralph goes, thanks for your endorsement, Linda. And I heard Linda. I was like, oh, Linda Parks? Like, is this Wally's future wife? At least in the main DC universe it is. See what happens in the Absolute universe, but I'm pretty sure her last name is going to be Parks. Pretty sure. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Plus, look how Wally's looking at her. He's infatuated with her, so it's got to be Linda Parks. So all of a sudden, Ralph hands Wally his card, and the last name says Didney. So that is going to be the elongated man. Maybe. In this universe. Main universe, that's elongated man. And he was like, come on, stop by. So Wally yells, is there air conditioning? And Ralph goes, I wish. So now we cut back to the desert where the rogues are at. The government has sent out some scientists to take a look at whatever this thing that Wally left when he ran off and disappeared. Wally's dad shows up and is asking Captain Cole what the hell is going on. He's like, I don't know, you tell me, this is your son. And Trickster's looking at it and she thinks she sees a doorway. So as she's looking a little bit harder, all of a sudden it just blows up. And Captain Boomerang is pissed off. So again, Wally's dad starts getting into Captain Cold. And Captain Cold's like, look, first off, your boy got powers we ain't never seen before. And second, he got help from the monkey. So then Wally's dad's like, sounds like a whole bunch of excuses to me. So he starts to leave, and Captain Cold's like, where are you going? And he's like, I'm going to go find out what the hell Barry Allen was doing in that lab and what the hell he did to my boy. So we cut back to Wally. He's eating lunch or dinner, I'm not sure which one. And he's at the mission that Ralph runs, and he's handing Grodd an apple or a slice of apple. Linda walks up. So Linda sits down and asks what his name is, and he was like, Wally. And she's like, serious, Wally? So yeah, my grandpa was named Wallace. What's wrong with Wally? So they start talking, and they're asking, what brings him there. Wally says his dad's in the military and so on and so forth. And Linda's like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. So then Wally's like, so what are you running from? Lenny kind of gets quiet. Wally's like, oh, I didn't mean to. She's like, no, it's cool, but I'm finished anyway. Here, you can have mine. I see you scarf yours down in like 3 seconds, so I know you're hungry. And she walks off and is like, see you around, Wallace. Again, what's wrong with the name Wally? So Wally goes to his room, and then Ralph walks in to get Wally a toothbrush and a toothpaste. He's like, oh, appreciate it, thank you. And then Ralph lets him know there's only 3 rules. There's no drugs, there's no fighting, and everybody has to work a shift to help out with the cooking and cleaning. Other than that, do what you want. Just go see Sue, my better half, about the schedule in the morning. Sue did me. Identity crisis did her dirty. Punk ass Dr. Light. I guess it was Jean Lauren who actually killed her. So, she did her dirtier. And she was Ray Palmer's love interest. Alright, let's get back to the story. So Ralph leaves, and then Wally starts talking to Grad telepathically, and it's like, maybe this is a place we can stay. What do you think? Grad doesn't answer him. And he's like, Grad, you sleep? He opens up his book bag, and Grad is gone. And he's like, where the hell did he go? He looks out the window, and Grad is just hoofing it somewhere. So then we cut back to Colonel West, and he's in Barry's lab. He's looking around, and all of a sudden somebody walks in and was like, Colonel West, what are you doing here? And he goes, that's not the question, Dr. Thawne. I was like, oh, you finally get Eobod. But then she comes into the light, and it's a female, and I was like, can't name a female Eobod. Bet you can, but I highly doubt it. So General West is like, I want to know what he was working on. And she's like, you know, it doesn't work like that. We're contracted through Lazarus, and Barry was their point man. So the Colonel West is like, don't give me that Eleanor Thawne. I guess Eleanor is a Eobot equivalent, I guess. So then he's like, all I want to know is what happened to Wally. And she's like, you saw what your son did in the desert. All the weaponry that we developed for your team, and they still didn't stand a chance. So the Colonel West is like, he's a 15-year-old boy, not your test subject. And she goes, wrong. He's a 15-year-old boy that is now a miracle. Your son may be the greatest success that we have. So the Colonel West is like, he is not a weapon. And she goes, speaking of weapons, why don't you follow me for a second? So they go into this room and have all these broken cells. And she goes, some of our more violent experiments are now in the wild. And we see Project Wizard, Project Heatwave, Project Firestorm, Project with 5 X's. Who knows what that is? And she's like, and the ape is leading your son right to them. So then we cut to Wally. He's going after Grad. He sees that he went down the sewer. He goes down there, and Grad's waiting on him. He's like, what are you doing? And Grad's like, Wally and Grad stop hot. And Wally's like, what are you talking about? He follows Grad, and Grad goes, hot. And then he points in the direction. Wally's like, I don't understand. But all of a sudden, all this heat starts coming off. And Grad's like, hot is here. And then we see it's Heatwave. And he looks crazy.